And, they went on a run, and a lot of it was just our mistakes, back-to-back, mental errors that we made. And our margin for error is smaller when you have guys not available tonight. And so we just have to learn from that. We have to be better with our execution on both ends of the floor, give Chicago credit. They did what they needed to do on their home floor to win the game, but definitely some mental errors on our part.
It's obviously a growing pain you just have to go through. But as these guys come back, Trey not being able to do a back-to-back, you're working him back in, your lineup keeps changing, your rotations keep changing. What type of challenge does that present?
It's a challenge, but it's a challenge that we all are willing to take on. And we get an opportunity to see some of our other guys play. I thought we played a solid game. I thought we played hard. Our effort was there. Like I said, we made some mental errors that you just can't make after a free throw. We don't get matched up to get a corner three. I call a timeout because a guy goes down the lane and just lays the ball up. We got 3 guys back. So things that we can clean up. But, tough back-to-back. And like I said, I like our effort. I like how hard we played. We played together, but not enough to win on their home floor.
For Z, the back-to-back, is it situational, or is he pretty much available now for any back-to-back in the season?
Well, it was situational all along. There are some back-to-backs that we wanted to hold him out to try to, manage what he's dealing with. And there may be some just games that's not a back-to-back. And so we're looking at the whole schedule. I know it's been back-to-backs. And so we get the notion that he's going to be out all back-to-backs, but that's not the case. So big hurdle for him to get over tonight. And, he went out and played a really good game.
I know you obviously there was a couple guys out tonight based on the circumstances of back-to-back, and CJ couldn't travel. But how much do you look forward to kind of building on? I know last night's game, it was both of those guys played, and just having everybody or closer to everybody, into the in-season tournament and then beyond.
Well, I think that's every team and organization and coaches' goals are to be healthy and to have your full team to see what you can see, what the possibilities are. But we still love these challenges. I really enjoy some of our young guys being able to play and being able to step up in these moments, back-to-back on the road. Dyson starting, Hawkins is playing a little bit more. Jose gets an opportunity to play more. Najee. So these are learning experiences for us, and we hope that they will pay off down the stretch. Okay, thank you.
All right. For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican Postgame Report. Much love to the fan. Appreciate y'all being in this episode of the Pelican Postgame Report. The Pelicans fall short 124-118, or fall to the Bulls 124-118, and now 11-10 on the season. Not the kind of outing we were expecting to happen, and I didn't like several things that happened during this game, but we'll cover it in this episode of the Pelican Postgame Report. Much love to the fam. Y'all hit the like button. Please feel free to subscribe, share, and like the channel. Share it on your social media feed. The diehard flock are in this thing. We're going to break down some Pelican talk. So I'm Big Q. We're going to bring in co-hosts DC and Lexxah. Shout out to the fam. Lex, DC. Welcome in first and foremost.
What's up with you?
Good. All right, so a couple of things, before we get into the statistical breakdown like we traditionally do. I didn't like the third quarter. I didn't like how the Pelicans carried their business in the third quarter. They lost by 15 in the third quarter, and toward the back end of the fourth quarter of the game, we had several defensive breakdowns. I didn't like how we were matching up with Kobe. Almost like I was about to say Kobe Bryant out there. The way he was shooting the ball, he might as well have been Kobe Bryant out there, but it just was not a good effort by the Pels. So before we get into the team statistics, any brief ideas on the game?
Yeah, man. I think it's to me, it's more of like a lack of urgency and execution down the stretch. Like you see the team, and just sometimes they're moving like they got everything figured out and it's all under control. And you look at the score and they're down by 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, hold on, we need a little more intensity right now. And I think that's just one of those things we got to deal with and continue to try to wish they get over or see them getting over with the addition of CJ. Maybe that's the missing link because didn't feel like that even though they played the Spurs the other day. But even earlier in the season, I think he does a good job or a way better job last team with helping the team understand tempo and when you have those runs and those ebbs and flows to kind of get them back on track. A couple of times tonight, I thought we should have called a timeout, maybe changed up the rotation or something. You could see them kind of getting stale and just like they didn't just have that intensity. Like, look, these are the moments right now you need to try to, close the door and win this game. And this seems to be like a theme for us this year, where we lose these games down the stretch that we had control of for the majority of the game. And I noticed the majority of those games that we lost like that have been without CJ. So I'm wondering if he could be the factor that helps us to close games. So it's just another classic example of the Pels not knowing or not being able to close a game that they should have won.
What you think, Lex?
Well, I definitely I know Willie was coming up, with his excuses on why we didn't win, but we could have won this game easy. I kind of feel like with these games, we leave that door open where we're really not matching the energy of the other team. We're just allowing like we'll see what happens, and then we'll kind of after we see what they're doing, we'll play accordingly. And I'm like, the thing is, I really felt like they could have came out a little bit harder. Like the Pels aren't the only team that plays back to backs. I understand it's a back to back, but it's like y'all don't smell blood. Like you know how a shark smells blood and it attacks you. Y'all don't smell blood when the score's close and it's going down the stretch. I mean, it's like there's no like adrenaline or something like extra push that you can give just to get the win. Um, I said on yesterday, teams like the Spurs, when they're on long losing streaks or like as a whole, their season is not going very well, or they're dysfunctional, or not the Spurs specifically, but right now, Chicago, they're dysfunctional right now. They got a lot of things going on right now. Like teams like that, they are the most dangerous teams, the most dangerous because they don't have anything to lose. You don't know who's going to go off. Against the Bucks, Caruso, he was the guy who went off. That was without DeRozan being in the game or Levine. Who was it on today? It was Kobe White.
Kobe White and Caruso got hurt in the game and left.
Yeah.
And
And see,
started cooking and Kobe White
that's
started.
what makes it dangerous. That's what makes it dangerous. Because you don't know when everybody is down, when all the main guys are down, who's gonna step up, who's gonna be that guy, who's gonna get hot. And he had 3 points in the first half and then came out the second half, scored 28. Kobe White. He's not he don't have games like that, you know? So I mean, that's why I was saying, like, as far as just energy wise, like you can't downplay a team. You can't just be like, oh, it's Chicago, or oh, it's the Spurs, or oh, it's Detroit, or any other team that's not doing well right now. You know what I'm saying? You can't look at that look at it that way. It's like you got to come in and be like, look, right now they're not doing well. We need to take care of business. We need to get this win. We got to dig deep and get the win. And they were close. The Pels were close. I mean, we were right there. I mean, you're talking about less than 10 points. I mean, it was a very, very winnable game. I know they won 50-50 balls, but I feel like that's only because again, we left that door open as far as with the energy, like, okay, well, we'll adjust our energy according to how the opponent team is playing. I just feel like, that's how they came out. So that's all I got.
All right, thank you, Lex and DC. Yeah, there were Kobe White and DeMar DeRozan went off for over 50 points apiece. Then they had two guys off the bench for the Bulls that combined for like 30 points just between two players, not including the rest of them. So they had some guys that stepped up and really took advantage, and they just went off on the Pels. But let's get the team stats for tonight. The Pelicans were 41 of 82 for 50%, 8 of 25 from downtown for 32% flat. They were 28 of 35 from the free throw line tonight. At a halftime, boy, they were looking ugly, but then they kind of cleaned it up a bit in the second half, 28 of 35, getting 35 attempts in somebody else's building. From the Bull side of things, 48 of 88 for 54.5%. They hit 17 3-pointers tonight on the Pelicans, 17 of 40 for 42.5%. Damn. 11 of 15 from the foul line for 73%. They had 41 rebounds versus 39 by the Pelicans. They had 32 assists versus 20 by the Pelicans. 9 to 6 on the steals, advantage Pelicans. 8 to 1 on the blocks by the Bulls. Pels did have only 12 turnovers. Bulls had 13. The fast break points by 2 was the Pelicans, and they did win the points in the paint, 56 to 48. But outside of that, not really much to talk about in terms of what was going on. It was let DC from team stats, bro. 3-pointers, that was big in the matchup. What you think?
I really think you only need to look at one stat, but it's a combination of team stats and a box score. And Joe Myers actually mentioned it at the end of the game. And after looking at these team statistics, I mean, man, that really is it. We made 8 3-pointers, right, Q? Shot 25 of them. Kobe White made 8 3-pointers by himself. Ball game. It's really that simple. You could point to maybe the free throws. We'd hit some more of our free throws, which we did shoot at an 80% clip, so that's not bad. But we got to the line, got 35 of them. They only got 15, man. So the separating factor is those 3-pointers right there, and it was the damage of one player. And every time I saw him hit a shot, it's like, okay, the third quarter where he scored like 16, I get it. But after that quarter, like, aren't we like pretty much gonna put the clamps on Kobe White and not let him beat us? He only had 3 points in I think the first half.
Yeah.
And he goes for 31. So you're looking at it right there to the left where it say game leaders, it say Kobe White, and then you look at the Pelicans 3-pointers and it say 8 for 25. That's the only stat you need to see, bro.
Jeez. Yeah, I was looking at the individuals, DC. Yeah, man. And then of course, if not even talking about the 3-pointers, bro, they did get 7 more field goals. They hit 48 of 88 versus the Pelicans 41 of 82 to add on to the 3-pointers. So that was another telling stat. I mean, they just had it going. Individual side of things, the leader Zion was 27 points in 30 minutes, 10 of 15 from the field. He was 7 of 9 from the foul line, which is pretty good for Zion in the matchup. 5 rebounds, 3 assists along with that. 23 from BI in 36 minutes, same field goal percentage shooting, 10 of 15. He was 3 of 6 from downtown. 3 of 6 from the foul line. He had 6 boards, 6 assists, 3 steals in the matchup. 17 from Herb in 36 minutes of action. He had 7 boards, 4 assists, and 3 steals. 15 from Big V in the game in 36 minutes of action. He had a couple of 3-pointers as well. He finished with a double-double. 15 and 10 for Val. 7 from Dyson in 22 minutes, 2 assists, a couple of rebounds, and then off the bench, Jayhawk in 25 minutes of action had 10 points in on 2 of 6 shooting from the field, 2 of 5 from downtown, 8 from Alvarado in 18 minutes of action. He was 2 of 5 from downtown. A couple of assists from him, 7 from Marshall in 27 minutes of action and 3 rebounds. Najee played 27 minutes. Uncle Robinson Earl played he didn't record much of a stat, even though I seen him get in it. They didn't really do much of anything. And that's pretty much it. But then let's look at the Bulls right quick, and then I'm gonna turn it over to you, Lex, and with your thoughts about the individual wise. 24 points from DeRozan in 40 minutes, 31, which is the big telling point for Kobe White in 40 minutes, 31 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists in the matchup. He was 8 of 13 from downtown. So over 50 points was scored between DeMar DeRozan and Kobe White for them, and then 15 apiece from how do you pronounce Desumu? Desumu had 15 and 15 from Torrey Craig of all people in 19 minutes. He finished with 5. So you have 30 points. You have 50 plus points between White and DeRozan, and off the bench, 30 points between 2 people. So I mean, Alex, talk to me about that, the individual side of the thing of the Pelicans situation.
Well, one thing I do want to say that a lot of those threes that the Bulls were, attempting and making, they were not contested. Like they were like just a lot. There was a lot of open shots, and we were playing too far on weak side, which kills me every single time. I don't understand why they do that, but they need to really work on that and address that. But one thing in the stats that I know it shows their minutes and everything, but one thing that I noticed, and this is the same thing that happened with the Nuggets, with the Suns, and even today. Did you all notice that Kobe White never came out the game in that second half?
Mm-hmm.
He played the whole time. It seems like every single time there's a specific player that either plays the whole, like a whole quarter and doesn't sit down at all, they stay in the game, or they play the whole half. Those are games that we lose. I know Jokic, they've done that. The 2 games that we played against the Nuggets, they played Jokic the whole third quarter. They never set him down. I know they also with the Suns, they did that with Devin Booker. They did that with him. He played like the whole second half against the Pels. But it seems like, when coaches do just go to that move as far as just not taking him out, because really with Kobe White, there was nobody to like sub him out. I mean, that he's literally like all they had. But yeah, that right there, that just seems to kill us, because I mean, it's like, it's ongoing. I guess it helps them to keep their foot on the gas when a player like just gets going like that. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting because that's happened to us before. Um, I don't know. I don't really think anything really sticks out. I think my biggest thing is just the energy from the whole team. It was just kind of lackadaisical. And like I said, I know it's a back to back, but these guys are in shape. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of, the game was close. It could have went either way. We could easily won this game. So I think that's just my biggest thing right there. Really just not enough 3-point shooting. We were trading threes for twos, or twos for threes, whichever way you want to look at it. But yeah, I mean, Zion, he had a great game, sort of. But I don't know. I think everybody just defensively, collectively, I think defensively we could have did better. I think Herb, he always does his thing defensively. He really got a lot of deflections and steals and things, but trading twos for threes is kind of tough though.
Yeah, this was a gutty game by Chicago, man. I mean, they just used Caruso was doing his thing, and then he gets hurt, never to return, and Kobe White just turned into Kobe Bryant and just started lighting the Pelicans' ass up. He was having heat check threes. He was so hot. Dude was shooting 2 and 3 feet, 4 feet beyond the 3-point line, and knocking the shots down. Then Torrey Craig gets involved, and everybody else started feeding off of it. So it was just then of course, like I said, you're right. The majority of some of those 3-point shots were untested shots, especially toward the back end when they started getting cooking. For whatever reason, they just couldn't get a hand up in Kobe's face, and it just turned bad. And then of course Willie, he spoke about it in the press conference about how the Pelicans just they start having these various breakdowns in the back of the game. So I think we talked about this before about the Pelicans having to figure out ways to win in some of these games, and all this kind of stuff. We know they still learning to play, so it's
2
going to
words.
be. Go ahead, Lex. What you saying?
I said 2 words.
2 words.
Tough love.
Tough love.
Be like, look, if the team is out of whack, dog, that's where you come in. You know what I'm saying? Call a timeout and get your guys right. You know what I'm saying?
Willie called the timeout, and I was like, finally, thank God. He called timeout. I was like, oh, I know he's gonna get Najee out of there. Najee ain't giving us nothing right now.
All I knew,
he called the timeout, and then everybody came back out. I was like, wait, he didn't change the rotation. The other team went on to score like 8 points, and then here I see Jordan Hawkins. They bringing him from the sidelines. It's like, damn, what happened with the timeout? Came out of the timeout, they did exactly the same thing they did before. So definitely, Lexxah, I know I'll be giving you a hard time sometimes about the tough love, but I guess I gotta agree with you tonight, because whatever that speech was, they did with that timeout at 3 minutes and 44 seconds. That shit ain't do nothing. Willie need to cuss or something sometimes.
You ain't gonna do that, DC. That violates the law.
But
say guys darn it, but say it really harsh.
Yeah, delivery and tone. That's not worded, or scripted like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just about the delivery and the tone, because he doesn't convey that type of energy. But you know what? They should have picked up the pace, especially with Andre Drummond up in there. Man, that was making me so mad. Did anybody else see that? You know what I'm saying? Can y'all run faster? Let's
let him get that. Right?
Step on the gas. Y'all should be smelling something. You know what I'm saying? Like they should be on attack. They should have been on attack mode with that dude. Because he slows the game down.
He does.
I mean, that dude is nothing but a half-court guy. Pick up the pace.
He had some impact against the Pelicans tonight, the way he was in there.
That's because they weren't picking up the pace. They were going at his speed. If you're going at his speed, advantage him. But if you're going faster than him, then advantage us.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense, man. And even Antonio Davis said, "What's that, DC?"
It make too much sense, Big Q. That's why
I know. But Anthony, I'm gonna credit Antonio Daniels. He did say that he said that in the scouting report prior to the game, is that this pace, picking up pace against this team.
The pace was very slow. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Are you all running?
It's terrible, man. Also, second chance points in the game. Just to make mention of it, 16-10 advantage Chicago with the second chance points. And just to throw this out to the family members. I know it's the Pelican post-game report, but I just wanted to spotlight the San Antonio Spurs currently are 3-16 and 15th in the Western Conference. That is dedicated to Big Sean and Tasha. Thank y'all for watching the Pelican post-game report. I just had to bring y'all some real reality right there. Thank you for joining us.
Wait, hold up, man. Big Sean was actually trying to give us some credit, man. I guess.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know when he being sarcastic.
Man, he's been MIA.
Because my man Woe said the Pelicans not even playing material, and Big Sean, he said, "Whoa, wait, what's okay?"
Well,
I don't know what's going on with Simply Tasha.
I just
said I give him even more credit than that, so I gotta give him that cue.
I mean, that's good cop, bad cop over there. DC, don't fall into that, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's all. That's
good. So what Tasha say?
Tasha is bad cop tonight. So once again, Tasha, we kind of I'm the president of the petty committee, so I just wanted to let you know that the San Antonio Spurs are currently 3-16 and 15 in the Western Conference. So thank y'all for being here. As we are a plus 500 team, we're currently 11-10. We got some lumps and bumps and bruises, but you guys are gonna need some. We got some bumps and bruises, but you guys are gonna need surgery to kind of recover for what the hell. Yeah. So anyway, shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all. I got it. Shots fired, man. Don't be talking shit about my Pelicans now. Come on now. All right. So anyway, let's move into the preview.
My man Slim Salt got a question for us, PQ.
Go ahead, DC.
He says, if our players can't play back to back, then why do we need a physical therapist? Lexxah, this seems like this is in your wheelhouse.
Let's go ahead.
For real?
Can you answer this?
Who read the question? Mr. Jeopardy man.
Read that question pretty good. Shout out to you, brother.
I went to the Bahamas and I got an infinity stone for reading. I found a Rosetta Stone in the beach over there, Q. And been good.
That's good.
Well, hey, I will say this, Slim. Jose played, right? He didn't play on yesterday. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to answer this question.
Well,
maybe we need two physical therapists. But
there you go. That's what I was going to say. We need two.
They definitely wanted to rest. Trey just got back. Trey just got back. So, I mean, and then y'all know about CJ's situation. They weren't going to play them back to back immediately like that. They want to work them back in, I guess, smoothly, not too fast. So, but hey, we got the Kings coming up, and that's the tournament. You know what I'm saying? So
you can only do so much with one physical therapist, Lex. You're absolutely right. Two back-to-back games, so you need two physical therapists, and then we can have that going on.
Well, I mean, credit her though.
Really, we just need to play with an edge tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what to take us over the hump is playing with more intensity. We would have won this game tonight. But I'm getting tired of saying shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah. Let me share this though. So y'all know we played the Warriors, right? When we played the Warriors, when the Warriors came to SKC Center, that was their second of their back-to-back. I think they played Houston on their first of the back-to-back. Well, both those games for them, both those games were blowout games. I remember that. Now, I'm looking at the fact that I know it's the Warriors, but I'm also looking at the fact that, they're an older Warriors team. And if they can come out and play with the intensity that they did to blow the teams out on a back-to-back on the road, I mean, you can't tell me that the Pels can't do that. And they're a younger team. So I don't know. I think that's pretty impressive.
But that buys into mindset, though, Lex. That's the whole thing when you talk about a battle-tested team like the Warriors who've been through it.
Exactly.
Right.
Mentality.
Mentality. That's what it is. And they can turn that on. When they see what's happening, they turn it on and then they take it to another level that other teams can't follow. Pelicans have yet to.
That's what I would love for the Pelicans to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to make them an elite team. You know what I'm saying? Because right now we don't have that. And I said that 2 shows ago that we don't have a strong or huge sample size of consistently playing at a high level night after night. So when I see the team is blowing another team out, we up by 30, I want to go up by 40. We up by 40, I want to go up by 50. Because the thing is, it's training. We got to train ourselves. The team has to train to have that type of mentality. Like, look, don't be satisfied just beating a team. Look, it's good that you're beating a team, but do more. Because the thing is, when it is a tight game, that all that stuff that's going to allow you, like, look, when things are going good, we are still fighting. When things are not going so well and the game is tight, we are still fighting. The fighting it's consistent, no matter what type of game, no matter what the scoring gap is. And that's something that this team just doesn't have a strong sample size of. So we have to train ourselves mentally to be that type of an elite team. And once that happens mentally, that'll trickle down in all the other areas. It really will.
Yeah, that's going to take some time, like this year, for them to first of all, getting them all on the court at the same time, then going through everything. Like we talked about CJ not being able to travel, but him and Trey will be there on Monday against the Sacramento Kings. And I agree, all those things are needed for the Pelicans to take it to the next level. But like I said, it's a lot, man, and a lot of stuff. We supposed to be a lot further along the road if it wasn't so many stupid decisions that were made and all this craziness with the injury situation. Now they have to realize it really quick. So, I mean, I promise you, this year, this basketball season, we're going to figure a lot of this stuff out, see exactly how far the Pelicans can get. And I really do think once they come together, they'll galvanize and we'll start learning some of the lessons that we need to learn to get these deep playoff runs that we see ourselves involved in. So first and foremost, shout out to the real faithful out there. I see Sean and Tasha out there creating nothing but hate and havoc and chaos in the chat. But it's all right. I'm just gonna just politely just say that the Spurs are 3-16, fifth in the Western Conference. Wimp beyond. I think the man is Wimp beyond me. Wimp beyond me is going to be a good player. But you guys, you got Popovich there, and shout out to you guys. Appreciate you for just coming over from the Spurs post game report, which they only have 3 watchers of the Spurs post game report. So thank you for being in the Pelican post game report. Okay, much love to you guys. So anyway, let's move over until the Pelicans and Kings matchup, right? All right, so we took this team out in relative ease. We had some bit of degree of difficulty, but it's difficult to beat a team. Kings are good. They're a good team, offensively speaking. They get going. Pelicans match really well with this team in the first 2 games. Very hard to try to talk about beating a team 3 times in as many weeks as all with the Spurs, as competitive they are. Now we go into their building. It's a tournament game, one and done type scenario. With DC, I'm gonna start with you on it. It's kind of walk us through this Kings and Pelicans matchup on Monday night. We'll have everybody in the building in Cali, man. What we need to do to handle business and get that first in-season tournament win, bro.
Man, you already know what we need to do. We need to install in some variation a rotation of Dyson Herb that ruffled. What's my man's name? I'm forgetting his name.
Fox,
De'Aaron Fox. He's the engine that makes everything go. And obviously, Sabonis is a guy that kind of does a lot for them as well. But he hasn't played well all the time against us for some reason. I guess maybe JV takes that matchup personal and does a pretty decent job with him. But if you can basically lower De'Aaron Fox to 10 points below his per game average, like we've been doing, we seem to have the Kings number at this point right now. But we got to look at whatever adjustments that they'll make. Keegan Murray, I think, is dealing with some injury issues. I think that's a bit of a blow to them, even though they are very deep. But this team is De'Aaron Fox, man. If De'Aaron Fox doesn't play well, they don't win. But usually he plays very well. But that's a big blow right there if Keegan Murray is missing. And I think the Pels are definitely going to show up with that edge. They're going to play with an edge because of what's at stake. Something about those damn, I'm forgetting the name of the uniforms, man. I was about to say the Pale Skulls.
no, the
But,
skeletons.
The skeleton uniforms, man. When they put that on, it's almost like superpowers for them. So I do anticipate on seeing a more energetic team, more assertiveness, more edge. And they show up with that. We're gonna have Trey Murphy, CJ McCullough back. We just gotta be us, man. Continue. I like what I seen tonight as far as BI and Zion. They try and let the game come to them. If we had the right rotations out there with them tonight, I think we'd have been able to get the victory. Things would have went a lot smoother and we'd have had less mistakes or poor execution, even though we didn't have a whole bunch of turnovers. But CJ and Trey coming back is going to be huge as long as Zion and BI are playing on a level that they played tonight, where they're not trying to be overly aggressive, but being aggressive while also trusting their teammates and keeping the ball moving. If we can do that and lock in defensively, I don't think it's chance in hell where the Kings can beat us. But we all thought the Kings would beat the Bulls tonight. So we got to see what Skeletons, what either the Skeletons gonna show up or the Pelicans. The Skeletons, they do their thing, man. Every time they put those uniforms on, it was extremely energetic. Very exciting basketball experience. They play with a lot of energy. So that's what I want to see. And if they do that, man, I don't think we can lose this game.
Lex, what you think?
I think definitely the Pelicans are motivated. I know Zion has said many a times that this team has not won anything. Haven't won nothing. So the thing is, you're in the in-season tournament. You got your first game coming up. What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna show up, show out, play with some energy, play with an edge, play with some fire, and get the win, or are you gonna fold? Now we have beaten this team. The second time that we played the Kings, that was more of the Kings identity compared to the first time we played them, because they were coming off of the second of a back-to-back, so that game was a blowout. But that second game, Mike, he came out, made adjustments, and we were able to adjust. They were a little bit delayed, but we did make the adjustments. But Mike, he's gonna make more adjustments. We know that he is. And when he makes those adjustments, we have to be ready. They've already lost to us twice. One thing that a lot of guys say, like, when you lose games, you learn a whole lot from the losses than you do from the wins. That's why in the playoffs it's so hard, because the thing is, you don't know the changes that the other team is going to make when they come back and play you. But this is basically, it's one game. It's not a 7-game series. It's one game, and they're going to have to make those adjustments in the game. I think that would be my only concern right there. I mean, because, we understand, Willie and, his MO and everything, but all in all, the team has to come out with energy. There's already going to be an excitement, but you got to play energy, remember your identity, play with pace, play defense, and really move the ball. They're vulnerable down low. All they have is Sabonis. I think the way that Jonas has been playing, he's going to really cancel out Sabonis. They don't have an answer for Zion, just like they in the first 2 games, but it is at the Kings' crib. So, we just really got to play smart, play with a lot of energy, and don't let the foot off the gas. You know what I'm saying? I mean, be motivated. And remember the fact that you haven't won anything. Play like you want to win something.
Yeah, I really hope the Pelicans win this NBA Cup thing they got going on, because that could be a launch pad for a lot of other great things the Pelicans have. Like Zion said, we haven't won anything. Winning the first NBA Cup would be something positive. It would definitely be something positive for the Pelicans young squad. Let me tell you something. This our young components, the Zions and stuff like that, that would be actually pretty smooth for us to get that first one. It'd be like I said, a good jump off point for us. right, so let's look at this the current Southwest standings in the division, shall we? The Dallas Mavericks currently sit on top of that thing, 11-7. They're a game and a half ahead of the Pelicans in second place, 11-10. Rockets are 8-8 in that thing. Losers of 2 in a row, and then Memphis Grizzlies are 5-13. They have won 2 in a row, and the San Antonio Spurs are in the cellar, 3-16 on the season. Currently, losers of 14 games in a row. Last 10 games, they're 0-10. We got to do better in the Southwest moving forward. But in season standings, man, the in season tournament standings, as you can see. Let me see if I can get the hey, hold on. Let me see if I can get the bracket up there, because that is a better look for. Give me a second, fam. Let me see if I can. There it is. We get the bracket up there. All right, here we go. There go the bracket right there for the faithful. As you can see on Monday, the Pelicans take on them their Kings up in Golden One Center, I think it's called, and that will be a 10 p.m. Eastern time game right there. So I mean, this will be a good one for the Pelicans. We'll have the full shelves. Everybody will be there, except for Larry and maybe Matt Ryan, but all of the guys, Trey Murphy, CJ, all those guys will be available for this matchup. So I'm looking forward to this Kings game, and I think the Pelicans really could get this win. I know it's difficult to beat a team because the Kings are not garbage. They're a pretty good team, but the Pelicans full staffed with everybody understanding the ferocity of this in-season tournament game. It's going to be cool having this situation. I think the Pelicans ultimately will respond in kind. I think they will beat the Sacramento Kings and move on to the semifinal rounds against whoever. It don't matter. Pelicans trying to show some stuff. So you guys will be on this Kings thing, y'all. We got this game, right, fam?
Oh yeah. It's a national televised game too, so that's always good stuff, you know. But I actually like this bracket because the Pelicans are able to beat the Kings. I actually feel good about the Pelicans, like whether they meet the Suns or the Lakers. I think they really do have a chance.
All
And
right.
the percentages were not lopsided. They were close, so that's a good thing. They didn't have the I know what Shine he mentioned they have the Kings winning, which naturally that makes sense. The Kings are at home, and most teams are good when they play at home. They play
True.
very well. So
They
it
do,
makes
have
sense.
it by 10% though.
Yeah, I was gonna mention you took it out of my mouth, but it's like it ain't lopsided. It's not lopsided. It ain't like 90 and 10 and all that stuff. So no, there's still a chance. That's all it takes. You just got to give yourself a chance.
Yeah, I think they get it. I mean, I know it's a difficult thing to say with this type of matchup. The Kings are pretty good at home. They're actually 5-2 at home, so they play well in Golden One Center. So I mean, Pelicans got a tough order to go in there and take care of this one in season tournament game. It's the first step in getting to the NBA Cup, and for the Pelicans could build to greater things into the future. So shout out to the fam. DC, if you want to add to that, my friend, please feel free. Give me just a second. I'm gonna give a shout out to the fam. Please feel free, y'all. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if y'all not subscribers, and share the show on your social media feed. Also, to let you guys know, there's a link in the chat for the faithful to pop on in. And it's time now to kind of spit your game about the Pelicans. Tell us what you think about the Pelicans, how you feel about them, what they need to do. How do you feel about Willie Green's doctrine of love? Are you buying into it? Do you like?
Why do you keep doing this, Big
I mean, yeah, because
It's not gonna change.
DC said it's horrible.
I mean,
Talk about you.
Oh,
tough love. Okay.
all
This
right.
doctrine of love.
See, I
it needs to elevate,
Lex, we covered that. We said
metamorph. You know what I'm saying? Ascend.
we played Lionel Richie on the show. We played
I
Lionel.
don't care about nobody's Lionel Richie. I don't care. Look, be that, be that. You better be that.
Yes, indeed.
That's the Willie theme song.
Hello,
Love,
is it
love,
me you're looking for?
love Packers all.
Oh gosh. Oh,
Oh, what they
man.
play in the locker room, brother? That Lionel Richie.
Look, ain't
Willie don't
nobody
play
talking about
that drill
nobody's
music in there.
joy,
Yeah, yeah. You
mindfulness.
can't have no cussing music in the locker room.
No, don't nobody, ain't nobody trying to hear all that.
See, I threw out there. I knew Lex was gonna jump right on that thing. She was gonna
No,
jump
y'all
right on
already
that.
mentioned
See?
it. Look,
See?
Slim, where you at? Look, he
Oh,
mentioned it
my man,
earlier.
you talk about his the compassion and the mindfulness.
Yeah, look, it's up there. Where do you say that?
How about find
He
it?
said something. Well,
Hey, here we go. He said
Willie
Willie is too
passionate
compassionate with his mindfulness.
That's good.
That's pretty funny.
I'm
And
just
it brings him joy, Slim Salt.
it brings him joy too.
But you know what? It ain't even about the cursing, man. It's about the delivery and the tone, man. I'm telling you, there's a lot you can say without doing all that, you know.
Didn't they have a little fiery coach, man? I'm not thinking about a championship guy or almost won a championship that didn't cuss. Wasn't that like Avery Johnson or something? Didn't he not
Yeah.
cuss too?
Yeah.
No,
I'm not
Avery.
mistaken.
Yeah, Avery.
And he was always in people's face with that little finger.
Wow,
Yeah.
do this.
He was like 5'11", but walked around like he was 7'3".
Yeah. That's the thing with Avery Johnson. He wasn't a cursing guy, but he was loud and
Yeah.
he was in your face. So yeah, that I don't know if
Had
I
an
can
annoying voice.
right. Oh, he definitely had annoying
I
voice.
had to get used to his voice. I was like, dog, you talk like that for real?
That's him for real.
It almost, in a way, it almost similar to Van Gundy. do his voice, DC.
Oh, please.
You know. You guys should have never fired me.
Bill Wall, DC.
All that compassion and mindfulness. I would never put that shit up there. I would have put you got to build a fucking wall. That would have been the phrase. That's gonna get guys fired up and play some defense. Everybody out there's got to play with an edge. Play with an edge. I'm not putting you in the damn game. I don't care where you're drafted, how many points you score, how much talent you got. You got to play with an edge and build a fucking wall, okay?
Oh my goodness, DC. That's so annoying.
Get us flashbang on too many
Man, hey, that's 82 games.
Dude, yeah, I didn't like that at all, man.
Hey, him or Gentry, Big Q.
I know. The dumpster fire, man.
That's what I'm saying. This is a dumpster fire.
Stan Van Gundy, man. That dude. Boy,
that's one thing you can say about Alvin, boy. He ain't lied to us. He just get up there. I don't know.
What
you want me to say?
Yeah. Dude.
We didn't play very good tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, that wasn't a good look, man. All right, but fam, shout out to the fam. We got DJ we about to bring in, man. If y'all want to pop in on tonight's call-in special, man, I see Jay Black in there and several other family members. Y'all want to jump on the stream, talk about the Pels. The link is pinned to the chat. Please feel free to jump on in at your pleasure. Here's DJ. We're gonna bring DJ in. DJ, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. I'm doing, you know. First of all, how y'all doing? Welcome back, DC.
What's up, DJ? Appreciate
shout out to Lex. You know, she taking my spot, but it's all right though.
Where'd that come from?
Nah, you good, Lex. You good. You good.
Hold on, DJ, hold on for a second, bro. Before you get into that, bro, I need you to give me the report on the bottom of the bench for the Pelicans. You can, if you please.
Oh man, really, Big Q?
I mean, bro, you be dropping some signs, bro. You was talking about Cody Zeller before Cody Zeller went off. You know, and Lex, I was like, okay, DJ, kind of brief us about the back of the bench, bro. Let us know what we missing out
Yep.
on, brother.
Why is Kyra not playing?
Okay. To answer your question next, I have no idea. I have no clue. My thing is this though.
Yo, man.
But my thing is this though. If Willie is a great coach, he's a great player when it was his time, and he's a great coach. My thing, the only problem with me and Willie Green is his rotation. If you got Larry Nance out, CJ out, Trey Murphy out, Trey Murphy didn't play. Why you not playing EJ Liddell? Maybe Kyron, who knows? Or C. Brian, or anybody else that's on the right freaking roster. Why are you not playing these daggone people? Why you keep playing the same people over and over and over? That's like my only cue. This was a winnable game. Don't get me wrong. If you would have played number 50, EJ Liddell, we don't know what the hell EJ Liddell got. I mean, if you're basing on this daggone college highlights, I mean, what else do we have? I mean, C. Brian, he's a 6'5" guard. He probably could have shut down Kobe White. Who knows? Play your whole bench, bro. Like that's the only thing I'm saying. And as well as I'm gonna say what Lex always said in the daggone video. Play with an edge. Play your bench and also play with an edge. That's all I got to say, bro.
Hey, bro. So you ain't got nothing to say about Liddell and Uncle Robinson Earl. You don't have nothing to say about none of those people. You still got a few people you're missing out on.
Earl played.
Man, Earl didn't play enough. Like I said,
He
you got
did.
Larry Nance is out for God knows how long. Why you not playing EJ Liddell and Uncle Earl? Cause see me, I miss each one more.
A minute, huh?
I miss each one more. That's all I'm saying. I miss Uncle E.
What?
Remember them days?
You miss Solomon Hill, DJ?
No Solomon Hill. I'm talking about Uncle E. Twan Moore.
Okay.
What about Dante Cunningham? You don't miss Dante Cunningham?
Oh no! I was a big Tyreek Evans fan.
Oh, okay.
What
That's
about
right.
Frank Jackson? Do you miss Frank?
Absolutely not.
Damn, what Frank do? I kind of miss him a little bit. He had some exciting plays.
No. You know what? If y'all
You
want to
see
go
Mr. Tim
guard,
Frazier.
What about Bledsoe? You
Oh
miss
no, I do not miss Tim Frazier, Tim Heartless Frazier. I don't.
if y'all want to
miss
talk
him.
about guards,
he misses Bledsoe.
give me Jared Jack.
Jared Jack.
Jared Jack.
What?
That was random.
Yeah, give me Jared Jack. That's when Chris Paul left, I believe. We had Jared Jack, Tim Frazier. No, I'm lying. Cancel that. Cancel whatever I just said. Give me Brian Roberts.
DJ going in the archives. Nah, you said Brian Rob. Wasn't Brian Roberts was little.
That man was still getting buckets though. Hey, DC, I can tell you one thing though. If
What's
you got
up, bro?
Brian Roberts and Eric Bledsoe, who you going with? Exactly my point. Exactly my point.
That's I take anybody on our team over Eric Bledsoe. You know, we might pull a few guys from the G League, and yeah, I take him.
But in all regards, bro, I mean, like I said, I'm still a Pelican fan. It's just the rotation. I mean, you got all your shooters out with just Trey Murphy, CJ, Larry Nance. Whenever he come back, why you not playing EJ Liddell, Kyle? Well, yeah, because I mean, Jose, as far as defense, yeah, he can shoot a little bit. Don't get me wrong, he can shoot. But as far as guard needs, like Kobe White and stuff like, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I'm like Lex. Look, I don't know
Let me ask you something, DJ.
what's going on.
When a lot of guys, mostly the guards, when they were out at the beginning of the season and Kyra was playing, he had plenty of opportunities. How did you feel about his play, his performance?
That I mean, as far as like setting up the, I mean, it depends on what you're saying. Like as far as like shooting, setting up the offense, like I
Anything,
mean,
anything that sticks out. Do you feel like in the time that Jose was down, Najee was
okay.
down, Trey was down, um, do you feel like he performed well while they were injured, while they were out, when he had all those minutes?
Um, he, I don't want to say he was all right, but he was okay as far as shooting wise. I he's not that typical guard, you know. Whereas, let me see, like another Kobe White, you know, because they don't have Lonzo. So Kobe White have they didn't have like Zach Levine. So my thing is, if you're gonna put Kyra in the game, then you gotta have like let's see, no Jose and Kyra, no. You gotta have another playmaking guard, so that way Kyra can work off ball and get his shots up like that.
Okay,
Because
so
I mean, when he was playing for Alabama, you know, Herb Jones and them played in Alabama. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know.
okay, so leads to my next question.
Hmm.
So we weren't familiar with Jordan Hawkins with his game at the pro level.
Okay, I see what I think I see what you're trying to
Looking
go ahead. Go ahead, come on.
looking at what Jordan Hawkins did with Jose Alvarado, with
Hmm.
Najee down, both guys, Kyra, who's been in the league, he's been in the league for how many years?
About 3 years from right now, I believe.
Okay, and Jordan Hawkins, they got similar minutes starting out. And we can clearly see who really took advantage of their minutes when guys were down and who didn't. And I say that because in that situation, when Kyra did have those minutes, he did not take advantage of those. Henceforth,
Correct.
if you look at Jordan Hawkins flourished. Not only
Hmm.
that, he went off. You know, he performed at a high level. He was active on defense. He was knocking down shots. He's had
Hmm.
a couple of 25 plus point games. Right now, he's third in the in the rookie rankings and
And
things.
correct. He's like the third regular season for last. I
Or
mean,
he's
yeah.
top
So
5. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
Jordan didn't have no experience. All we were basing his performance off of was summer league.
and his
So
shooting. So
yeah,
yeah, pretty much.
I'm looking at what Jordan did compared to Kyra, who does have previous professional experience, and Jordan Hawkins outperformed him. That's why Jordan Hawkins has been in the starting lineup, and Kyra hasn't. That's why
Okay,
Hawkins,
so
even with guys coming back, he's still getting playing time, and Kyra, he's not even in rotation because he had an opportune time. I don't think Kyra understood the situation that he was in. He really needed to take advantage of that time when guys were down to really show Willie and show the rest of the team why he deserved more playing time. And he did not perform at a level where it moved the bar. He didn't do that. But
so
Jordan
my
Hawkins did.
so my question is to you. You know, everybody in the chat, that's including DC and Big Q. My thing is this: what? Let me see. Let me see if I can say this right. What not all. I mean, not what are we doing with Kyra, but at the same time, like what would you use Kyra in certain scenarios or certain games? Because I see a lot of times where uh Jose, not saying Jose is good or bad. Jose, I mean, both of them just coming off the injury. So, I mean, I understand Kyra as well as, I mean, Kyra and Jose because they both coming off the injury. But at the same point in time, Kyra is a little bit faster. I mean, yeah, faster as his speed. Now, decision wise and playmaking wise, questionable. But at the same point in time, like, what are we doing with Kyra? Because if Jordan Hawkins is getting more playing time, what are we doing with Kyra and C. Brian at the same time?
Well, right now, not playing them. I mean, really, it's just a waiting game. I mean, I think everybody's kind of agreed, like, with all these shows that Kyra's basically gone. Like
Okay.
we can't really, like, the thing is, like, when you come into the league, anytime you're playing, you have to impose your will in some type of capacity. You have
Correct.
to show your value. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody in the league is talented. Everybody in the league. You got to think, everybody in the league had their own team at some point in time. At some point, as far as level wise. So the thing is, if you're not going out there, if you're not imposing your will, like you said, Kyra's strong suit is his speed.
Mm-hmm.
How often did we see his speed? How often did he use it? Man, he can run around people like cones, but it's like you only saw it like once every blue moon. That's not enough. It's like, dude, you got to continue to show that. I think he could have took something out of Jose's book. Like, dude, you have all that speed. That means you can run circles around people. That means you can hustle. You can get, you can, like, just like how Jose's running around, getting deflections, being a pest. That's something that he could do because he's not a big guard. Like, there's other ways that you can affect the game, but you have to impose your will at some point. You have to be more assertive. You have to be more aggressive. And Kyra didn't show that. So if he wasn't showing it at the beginning of the season, why would we think he's going to show it now when guys are coming back and now he's out of the rotation? So that's basically the thing with Kyra. I think with EJ Liddell, in the small sample size that I've seen from him, EJ Liddell is not ready to me. He's not ready. Now, note that he did tear his ACL. He has really no professional basketball experience, but you're talking about a rookie coming back from an ACL, recovering from an ACL and everything, and then getting him playing time to a roster where it's very competitive. It's very competitive. Right now, he needs to get stronger. He needs to strengthen his skill set, and really find his identity as an individual player. And I think once he does that and he harnesses that and perfects that, then we can kind of go back to EJ Liddell. But right now, EJ Liddell is kind of like he's just not ready. He needs to get more acclimated. He needs to get more reps. He needs to get more comfortable in the game and really find where he's going to thrive in the league. So
Interesting.
All right.
Interesting. Kyra, man, we had high hopes. Still think he couldn't be something. The Stan Van Gundy years were not kind to him. He didn't know how to build a wall, so he couldn't get out there. And, and I think that was kind of the beginning of the end for Kyra. Once we drafted Dice, the writing was on the wall. People like me still held out hope for him, but I told y'all this year I sold all my hope in him. And Kyra had his last opportunity in the first, well, maybe it was 5, 6 games, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we gave him a chance. Willie gave him a chance. Willie tried to play him.
He went to the bench quick.
He played himself out of the
Yeah.
rotation. He didn't give what everybody else was giving. EJ Liddell, your guy that you saying you wanted to play tonight, Willie gave him a shot too. See, DJ, I'm about to call you CJ, man. But he didn't show out. Didn't give much, and their leashes were rightfully so a lot shorter than other players. And the emergence of Jordan Hawkins, and you're seeing Dice has actually improved from last year, even though he still needs more improvement. But he's improved from last year. There really is no place for Kyra, man. Especially with Jordan Hawkins. You know, he's going to command minutes. He plays great with Zion and Bi, and I think Trey Murphy as well. Waiting to see that, but I think he will. And how are you gonna mix Kyra in there? You know, we fighting to get Jose Alvarado minutes. You got to put him in there. He's trying to get up to speed, and you know he's not looking, I guess, as good as we normally like to see Jose. And with all of that being said, Kyra is still underneath all that. So, $5 million. This is what we're gonna go into the luxury tax for. I seriously doubt it. So he's out of here. They've given up on, I think, trying to build trade value with him. They're just gonna possibly attach a pick or some cash consideration, however they're gonna do that, to get his contract off the books. And depending on who Kyra gets paired with, I think it's gonna take the right coach in the right situation. I still think he can be something in the league because of the elite speed that he possesses. But even with us, if we were to play him, his best skill set that he has, we don't really have anything built into our offense in the way that we play to allow him to utilize that, because he's not going to be able to have the ball in his hands to take it up after a score, or they're not really looking to him as a point guard to set everything up. So he gets the ball, either when he's open or in a natural progression of a play. There's no sets to really try and utilize his speed. Maybe we should have tried to done that. We probably could have got more out of him, but I think the ship has sailed. They kind of lost faith in what he can be with us. I think everybody knows he does have that elite talent, and other talent. You always hear how great he plays in training camp, but it's just not a fit, man.
I think, like you said, DC, I think if he gets into a different situation, he may flourish, because I don't think
Yeah,
Van Gundy didn't use him. A lot of times, the way you come into the league matters. The way you come into a situation really does matter, because not every player that's drafted, not every player is coming into a really good situation that's for them. That's why guys do get traded or do get moved. And then when they're in a different situation, playing in a different system, they actually play better, So,
right.
um, I look at not like the best or the greatest example, but Jackson Hayes. I think he did. I think Jackson Hayes needed a different scenery. I know he's with the Lakers, but one thing I can say, he's getting a whole lot more playing time than he would here.
I
That
don't know
makes
if
a
you're
difference.
thinking about trading Jackson Hayes. I ain't seen him on plenty of the trade rumors. So
Oh yeah, I mean, he's with the Lakers. The Lakers, they want the best. They're trying to win. They don't care who you are. I mean, so that's always been the Lakers. I mean, they're looking at what DeMar DeRozan and Caruso. I don't think they're interested in Zach LaVine, but all I'm saying is that right now, while he's there, he's getting a whole lot more playing time than he would here. He's playing a whole lot more consistently at the Lakers than he was at the Pelicans. Sometimes like he would play for a long stretch here, and then it's like you didn't see him no more. You know what I'm saying? So he's not in that type of situation right now. So, sometimes change is a good thing for guys, a different scenery, a different system. I know Robinson Earl, one thing that he said, a lot of teams were looking at him, but he chose to go with the Pelicans because he felt like he could get more playing time. Now, when guys were down, he was getting a whole lot more, playing time than he is right now. But he was here for a week and he started for us. And he had a double-double. Like, that showed Willie Green a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Look, I ain't forgetting about you. Right now, we got guys coming back. Trey coming back, Trey has actually given this team a good problem because it's like, hey, everybody on the bench, when you go out on that floor, you better play your butt off because if you don't, you will be sitting down next to Willie. Like Trey has he's kind of cut everybody's minutes. He's back. And then not to mention Matt Ryan's coming back. Another shooter. So it's like, the pressure's on the bench to perform at a high level because the thing is with Trey being back, Trey by himself alone has kind of cut everybody's minutes. You saw it. You saw it with Najee, you saw it with Dyson, and you saw it with Jayhawk. And Dyson was just starting. Oh, excuse me. And CJ is back. But I mean, he's not a bench player, but you see what I'm saying? When guys come back, and especially Trey, because he's like the juggernaut, like bench, like player that comes off our bench, that really put pressure on everybody else. Like, look, you want playing time, you all have to perform it. You got to perform at a high level because you can't teach 6'11" and you can shoot 40 feet out. I don't care what nobody says.
So, I got a question for everybody. You're down 2. You need a 3 to win. What is your final? Listen for that quarter. The roster that we got, if it's fully healthy, what's the 5 coming out the timeout?
Okay, say that again.
I got it.
Okay.
He's saying what's the final rotation? Last what you say, 3 seconds of the game? We need a 3.
If you need you're down
How much
2,
time?
you need a 3. What's your final rotation? If the roster fully healthy, you got Matt Ryan, Trey Murphy, and CJ.
You say I'm down 2 and I need a 3?
Yeah, correct.
Well, I mean, if you're down 2, you don't technically need a 3. You can play for the tie, but if
Depends on how much time is on the clock too.
I mean, a 2 is still a 2. I mean, you hit a
Yeah.
2, you still tie, no matter how much time's left. But if you're going for the 3, I would say, and it's a situation where you're only going for the 3, because any other situation, I would never sit Zion down. But if it's a situation where you're only going for the 3, I will go with JV, Trey Murphy.
Okay.
Have Matt Ryan out there.
Okay.
Hawk and CJ.
All right. Okay. All right. Big Q. Big Q.
Yeah,
You still there?
yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I agree with what DC said about it. I mean, that's all your shooters right there, bro. That is a scary 3-point shooting lineup right there. You got Matt Ryan and Trey and Jayhawk and CJ out there with Zion. Are you kidding me? I'm just loving that look, man. So hopefully we can be able to see that. Love that look.
Yeah.
Before Lex, I'm gonna throw it to you in just a second. Let me give a shout out to the faithful. Thank y'all for being here. Hit the like button, family. If y'all want to chime in on the Pelican topics, please. The link is pinned to the chat. You can chime in, give us your thoughts and on the team, how the team is doing, this far in the season. How you feeling about Trey coming back? The potential of Trey and Jayhawk together. It's so many great things that's on the cusp of happening for the Pelicans. The in-season tournament is starting. I mean, well, not the tournament. The what call it now? Let me get that back on the screen right there. The pre-semifinal round, the quarterfinals. The quarterfinal round starts on Monday with our Pelicans. And what do you guys think about that, man? Chime in. Link is pinned to the chat. We won't be live for a long, probably about another hour or so. So if you guys want to, feel free to pop on in here. Now's the time. So Lex, you got the floor.
Oh, Lex, let me go. Let me go.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
All right, back. I feel great. I mean, it's the first time that the NBA season has did something like this, and us coming off the season that we had last season, and we are in the semifinals of the first time in season tournament. I feel great. Hopefully we can win Monday, and move on to the next round. Win that side of the conference, and we got a lot to do. We win Monday and get past this because it still counts as a regular season game, if I'm not mistaken. So we win Monday. I mean that'll erase today's loss if we win Monday in my books, because we beat the Kings and we are officially in some type of final. Even if we don't go to the finals, I mean, we still win. If we decide to win the whole end season tournament, we get some type of recognition. So I mean, hell, I mean that's all I gotta say. Go Pals and let's go Saints, because we is in the Superdome tomorrow.
All right, Lex, you want to chime in on that, sweetheart?
I think Lex got booted out, man. So
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can get her. Oh, there she go.
see.
All right, Lex, there you go.
All right, thanks. Yeah, my stuff shut down on me. Yeah, I think we like I said earlier, I think we have a good chance. I like our chances. I mean, we've shown that, we know how to beat the Kings. But now we know that they're gonna make adjustments. We gotta adjust to those. And we have to adjust to those in their crib. This is gonna be a huge test. Huge test for them. But I think they can pull it out. I really do. I think they're very vulnerable in their front court. I think we have two in Dyson and Herb, two of the best defensive guards or wing guards in the league. Obviously, Trey's going to be playing, CJ's going to be playing, Bi's going to be playing. There's a lot of weapons. But I think the biggest thing is the defensive activity and the pace. We really have to play with a lot of energy, play defense, active, really getting active defensively, to push the ball. We definitely have to continue to look for JV and exploit the matchup with Zion, because that's going to open up a lot of things. Share the ball. We've been more consistent as far as having like 30 plus assists. So we're gonna need that and more. Got to get aggressive on rebounds, keep turnovers low, and we've been doing better at the charity stripe. So I mean, all these things, like we seem to have the turnovers under control. The rebounding can always get better. The charity stripe has improved since we've been talking about that. We just have to again fine tune and kind of put this thing together. It's one game or you go home. So no, we just got to bring it. And Zion's been saying it in all his pressers that this team has not won anything. So I think with that motivation factor, mentally being there, y'all got to come out. Look, take all the disrespect that from mainstream media, from fans, casual fans, even the Spurs fans that were in here. The thing is, like, y'all gotta prove all these people wrong. Even Pels fans, like, man, like, show up and show out. Like, you haven't won anything. Put yourselves on the map. And you gain respect and all that in tournament play, in playoffs and things like that. That's where you get your respect. And that's something that this team has not gotten. I mean, you all have been through this whole cycle, these last 4 years and so on. But with this crew, it's like, you at some point in time, winning has to be, the top thing. And it starts, like, obviously tonight we didn't have it against the Bulls, but it's a long season and it's not over yet. So, definitely there's still an opportunity to change that. And this is a huge opportunity right here. This is a great start to turn everything around. So, and plus I'm looking at the rest of the bracket, Pelicans get past the Kings, going up against the Suns and Lakers. Neither of those teams are really doing, the greatest. They're doing okay. But I feel like, we could easily get them. I feel like just the consistent play, because I know the Suns have had guys in and out the lineup. The Lakers have problems with young teams that really run. Man, we got a chance. We really do have a chance, but it first starts mentally, being in the right mental space and coming out with a lot of energy and doing what we do best and taking advantage of the mismatch. And obviously we're hoping that Willie can do good enough, as far as, the timeouts, the rotations, and making adjustments, that he can do good enough for us to win. I think really that's probably the biggest concern. But if he can just do good enough and things, like, we can get these teams. So,
But honestly, we get y'all take on it. I'm seeing Willie improve. It's not great improvements with his play call and all this. He still has to work on some stuff, but we seeing some slight improvement. He's not staying the same. We are seeing incremental improvement from Willie. It's not jumping off the screen, but we are seeing some improvement here. I see some improvement. It ain't great or vast improvement from Willie Green, but it's some improvement. Do y'all guys agree with me on that?
Yeah, I mean, I seen improvement in the fact that he was smart enough to call up a guy like Borrego and bring him here. I'm gonna give Willie the credit for bringing in our physical therapist.
Griff had to hire her. Why are we giving him credit,
Thank you,
DC?
bro.
Willie went in the office and he said,
in
"Listen,"
charge of the hiring process?
he said, "Listen, I need you to compassionately."
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I need you to compassionately take my mindfulness serious, and we can reach a place of joy. I've talked with the players, and they said every other team around the league has a physical therapist. Me and Zion are building a great relationship. We have a very loving culture. And I need you guys to get us a physical therapist to take us to the next level. And also, it wouldn't hurt if you bring in James Borregos, a few other people. And Willie took that, and he doesn't have any, I guess, mics in his face, so we don't know if he came up with some new motivational tactics. But I had definitely seen improvements in the rotations, even though I was still complaining about him tonight. I haven't seen any improvements in the area of using his goddamn challenges every game. I don't know why Willie thinks it's some type of plus or asterisk to go home with a challenge, but we should use that every game.
Trying to get them rollover minutes.
You can't roll them over.
Exactly. It's obsolete.
So outside of things like that, rotations were the biggest thing. We know Willie can motivate the guys, right? A lot's changed after that team meeting. Can't fully give him credit because we don't know what goes on in the building. I would like to give Willie some of the credit for that too, because we've seen that multiple times with this team where we don't particularly have a winning record, and they go through this thing where we look at games and what does he say in tens? After every 10 games, he sits down, evaluates everything, re-strategizes, and make adjustments. And for that, the team meeting thing I think happened before 10th game, so he kind of broke that mold or that rule or whatever. He came out and spoke Bi and Zion into being the best duo in the league, and at this moment right now, I can't quite say they're the best, but if someone did choose them as the best, it don't sound crazy at all. Unlike how I did when Willie first said it, because he believed in them. Them guys saw that. They went and worked on their game together, and that's actually working. So it's a lot of positives with Willie. We just, I think, give him a lot of hard time with the flock and just all the Pelicans nation is some things that are blatantly obvious that need to be improved as far as what he do, and you don't always see improvements in that area, man. But there's coaches way worse than Willie Green. I'm glad he's our coach. I definitely think he can grow into what we fully need him to be. We haven't been a perfect organization. He's probably had a really tough go at it with injuries, if you want to be honest, for the situation that he's been put into, and he's still learning. Comes from a championship culture. I see improvement. So as long as I continue to see improvement with Willie Green, I think it will work, and we can definitely hang our hat on them fighting. Even though we want them to come with a little more tough love, guys to play with more edge. I mean, he's gonna have to have more edge for them to have it. Uh, those things can come around, but he's always gonna be a cool, calm, collected dude. We don't catch ourselves saying that too much about a guy like Steve Kerr, but they some type of way their team has intensity and a certain energy and a certain bravado and confidence that they carry themselves with. So it doesn't necessarily have to show physically in his expressions, but what he does, I guess, practice to practice, game to game, we'll have to improve to a point for that. And I think once that happens, then a lot more people will really, really love having Willie Green as a coach, the way we did initially when we saw him work a few miracles here and getting guys motivated and turning some seasons around that were pretty much in the dump. So far as them with the Sacramento game, no man, I think this is one of those games that can be a stage or a platform that simulates something similar to a playoff atmosphere and be more like a practice for the playoffs. And that is very, very helpful for a coach like Willie who needs that type of experience. Some of these things with the rotations, and I see him trying and doing different things, even though sometimes we still see him get locked into certain people, which we all like. We like our roster and most guys that are activated to play, but it's obvious sometimes like, he needs to sit down right now. Oh, you need to put such and such right now. And he's getting better. So looking forward to seeing what they do against the Kings in a playoff type atmosphere, and maybe he'll tip his hand a little bit, and we see about that rotation if we go 9 or 10 deep. the thing is going to have a lot more intensity with these games, and we're going to see a little bit of them more bringing their A game, unlike we saw tonight.
Well, I mean, I like I said, I agree. I think Willie is showing some improvement. I need him to improve some more, and I think they're all learning together. And we starting to see some stuff. I would really want to see a lot more wins than we've seen. We really let a lot of these games just slip through our grasp. Error field games, especially prior to the Willie Green getting sick, the Borrego game when everything just the lights just went on and we just started playing so much better. Down the stretch, we started hitting the free throws. We've been really harping on that, and the Pelicans have done a very good job in making sure they did that. And then, besides missing a couple of games where they had a lot of turnovers, but majority of the time they've pretty much kept a lot of the turnovers down, especially like in tonight's game. Had a few lapses, and we just got out hustled in the end. And the Bulls wanted this game. They really wanted this matchup here, and they came in there and they just fought hard and took it. So, that's something that the young Pelicans, I ain't gonna say young because there's a few people on here that got a little age on them, but they got to grow up. This team has got to develop fast and keep going, and we got all our guys moving forward. So I'm looking forward to that. So, all right, shout out to Jay Carl says I do Big Q, but the problem is we always got to take losses for him to learn. You can learn and win at the same time. I'm in agreement with that. Learn and win, even if it's an ugly win. Or whatever, I'll take it, man. Learn and win. I agree with you, Jay Cobb. Shout out to you on that, brother. Appreciate y'all in the stream. Lex, you want to chime in on that?
I think he's okay. I mean, I think like you said, the needle hasn't moved a whole lot.
Hold on, Lex. Hold on, Lex.
What?
You saying he's okay? He's just okay?
Yeah. Like I really do feel like
so you don't feel like Jay Kidd feel about Borrego. You don't feel the same way about Willie?
No, I think Willie is in his own way sometimes. I don't think I've seen enough of a sample size where he's not in his way. But he's doing. I guess he's doing okay. We'll see. We'll see come tournament time and different things. But it's I don't know, man. I mean, I don't feel like he's moved the needle a whole lot. Just like you said, it's not a lot. So, I mean, I don't think any other coach would come out and be like, "Oh man, Willie does, like J Kidd did with Borrego." You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like he's striking fear in his opponent coaches. So
Monty would give him respect and say that Willie's doing a great job.
I mean, that's because they both cut from the same cloth. They have similar personalities. The even the things that Willie says, I've heard Monty say it as well. But one thing I will say is that that I noticed about Willie is that he seems to perform at his best to as far as like coaches that he knows well, like that he's been around. I know him and Mike Brown, they both came from the Warriors. So he's really familiar with Mike Brown, just like Monty. He worked under Monty. In the playoffs, they played him in the first round. He knew Monty. He knew him very well. So, just the as far as going those 6 games, it kind of made sense because it's like, shoot, I know their personnel. I know you've been with them for a whole year. You were with them for what? A year, a whole year, or however long he was with them and all those players. So, he knew them. He already had the scouting report on them, their plays. He knew how they moved. I mean, he worked with them on their defense. So, that's one thing that gave him the edge between the two. Now with other coaches, it's been kind of tricky. You know what I'm saying? It really depends on the situation because he didn't, it's not like he's not working with all the coaches. You know what I'm saying? But I think with them two, that's what makes this situation kind of special because, like I said, he has worked with Mike Brown. They both have worked with the Warriors as assistant coaches. So, it makes a difference when you're really familiar with the other coach's mind and their philosophies, there's tendencies and things like that, because you know how to counter a whole lot better than someone that you're not familiar with. So that's a compliment.
No, I get, yeah, I
You know what I'm
get,
saying? I mean,
appreciate that, Lex, because I was trying to get you to say something about some good about Willie. I know you kind of
Good.
looking at his adjustments, and I agree with you on his adjustments. He has been adjusting very slowly, but he's kind of revved it up a little bit and kind of did what he needed to do. Still need to get better.
Eh,
He's still
I,
learning like the rest of them. So I give you, you all good.
I like him to be more creative too. Like, you know what I'm
Amen.
saying? Like, do something different. Sometimes, and this is, and we see it with football too. Okay, like a lot of times, like for instance, the 2-3 zone. When Miami, when they started doing that 2-3 zone, like that wasn't something that the league was like, man, we don't do that here. We do man. But guess what? They were doing that 2-3 zone and it was jacking everybody up. It was messing. They were beating teams. Not only that, it was a way to kind of that start of building that wall around Giannis. They did something unconventional. And guess what? Now you see the whole league adopting playing zone. You know what I'm saying? Doing something unconventional when it wasn't, the traditional thing of doing that. Same thing like in football when they do the wildcat in college. When you run a wildcat in the pros, they're like, man, we don't do that stuff. This is the pro level. You know what I'm saying? But it was working. So what do you see? Like cats getting more creative, doing different things that are unconventional that became like, hey, it works because a touchdown is a touchdown, right? So that's the same thing here. Like you got to know when to kind of break away from something that's typical, that's the status quo. Like, okay, look, we're not going away from this play. We're going to make this play work. But Willie, it's not working. Do something else. It's okay to do something else. And that's my thing. It doesn't have to be by the book. Get creative. Break some rules within the rules. You know?
Right, get a tech. When you
Yeah.
when yeah,
Seriously. Yeah, back your players.
right.
Like that does something to the psyche. And let me tell you something. I don't know if y'all noticed, but have you all noticed that other teams, they've challenged, like most of their challenges come when it's a play that incorporates Zion. Like it's always a challenge. Y'all know what that's doing. That's playing on the psyche of the refs, man. That's almost like it's training them. Like, because we've all said Zion he doesn't get a lot of calls. He don't get a lot of calls. But when they're seeing like, dang, man, shoot, they got another challenge. That challenge, Zion was in that play. And there's some that they've lost and some that they've won. But I just think that's kind of interesting that most of the challenges that opponent coaches, they call, it's been solely with Zion in that play. Stuff like that matters, man. It's like, back your players, get a technical foul. You don't have to curse at them, but at least show some passion. You know what I'm saying? And back your players. I mean, you got somebody like Popovich who's 84 or something, and he don't mind getting a tech, and they losing.
Yeah.
The Lakers, I'm Lakers, but as many calls, they have the most calls. I don't know if y'all seen that stat. They have the most calls called for them than any other team right now. They still complain. Darvin Ham, he'll get a tech. Why? Because first of all, it's the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? But they get calls all the time, and he'll still get a tech. So what does that tell you? Just do something like unconventional. Get upset. Show it's okay to show emotion. It's not like you're about to, it's okay to show emotion as long as you ain't sinning about it, like you gonna kill somebody or something. That ain't happening. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be angry. You know, that stuff is normal. But it's like, sometimes that stuff helps. That's why coaches do that type stuff. That's why they get those fines. I said, shoot, Zion, he got that technical. And, the team actually seemed like, they were playing with a little bit more. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot, but it's like we don't see anybody on this team doing that. Henceforth, you go back to what Draymond was saying. Y'all ain't built like that. I'm telling you, I would take issue with that. I really would. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like that's what you need in order to win.
This is true. This is very true. All right, fam, we're gonna get ready to shut the stream down, man. Listen, I appreciate everybody for chiming in on this thing. Much love to the fam. Pelicans, man, we don't get the win tonight, but we do get. We talked a lot of good game. We're gearing up for the Monday matchup, the in-season tournament matchup against the Sacramento Kings out on the West Coast. So our Pels gonna have a lot of our people there. CJ would be there. Trey's gonna be available, so it's gonna be interesting to see how the Pelicans deal with it. I'm optimistic that we'll be able to take care of business with Sacramento. Remember, it's one and done. It's not, multiple games. If you win, you advance. If you lose, you go home. It's that type of thing. So, but yeah, we'll be looking forward to how that's going to play, and perhaps the Pelicans can take a first step toward actually winning a trophy of some type, and it would be pretty cool to get the first NBA Cup, maybe, and that'll be a good launching pad for the Pelicans to get greater things as well. So, anyway, before we get ready to channel out, DC, you have DC and DJ. Okay, look like DC popped out. I mean, he probably. All right, but anyway, with that being said, we're gonna get ready to leave. DJ, you want to? Are you there? Or are you still up?
I'm still here.
Okay, cool. All right, brother. You can feel free when you can to get do your thing.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and as always, if anybody say something to your Pelicans, you tell them in a New Orleans Pelicans accent to get the flock out of here and go flock yourself.
All right, DJ, that's what's up, bro. All right, DC, you got anything last words, bro? Any last thing to say before we dirk on out of here, brother?
And had a lot of ups and downs to the season so far, man. The Pels continue to surprise us as well as disappoint us, as well as excite us. And I think right now we're at a point of the season where, as far as guys being healthy, I don't know. I think this year is going to be different. I think we're going to see a lot of our guys play the majority of the time. After watching how we've had some players miss some times, and then they were able to come back into the lineup with getting Trey back, getting CJ back. Guys seem to have a lot of confidence in themselves and the way they're playing. And it's only going to continue to grow and get better. Hopefully, Willie can continue to grow and get better. And if all those things continue to happen, especially if we're able to go ahead and win this in-season tournament, man, I think this will be a great way to jumpstart a run that the Pels can go on, man, and maybe finally rattle off 8, 9, 10+ wins like we want to see, and give us a lot of exciting things to talk about, a lot to look forward to in the future, because we see all the talents there. We see that the mindset is kind of there to be on the precipice of achieving greatness. They just gotta tackle that one thing that you hear Lex always bringing out, and you're absolutely right, because we need to be tougher. We need to play with more of an edge. You can't have this guy like Mr. White, who ain't never scored 31 since he did it to us 2 years ago, come in and be the defining factor in you losing this game, man. If we really want to be these championship contenders that we say we want to be, you got to find a way to win the games you're supposed to win. And, a lot of it will be 50-50 against a lot of the tougher competition. You can't expect to beat everybody. There's not a lot. There ain't even no teams that went 82-0. So I think the Pels gonna go on and win against Sacramento, man. We're gonna be up in here riding high, and hopefully we keep that wave going for the rest of the in-season tournament. Go Pels!
Hey, before we get out, question. So let's just say the Pelicans do win this in-season tournament, which is great. Does that mean we get like I know we get a cup, whatever the trophy is. Don't we get like a playoff spot or something like that?
No,
No,
Okay.
they talked
trophy
about
and
that.
money.
Yeah.
I'm weak. I'm dead there. Well, y'all stay out. Be cool. Like I said, go Pelicans. Go Saints, because we end in the dome tomorrow. And Big Q, I'm going to say it again. If anybody talk about our Pelicans, you tell them in a T-Hawk voice, get the flock out of here and go flock yourself.
In a who voice?
J-Hawk.
J-Hawk.
Jayhawk voice.
So wait, we got Hawks and Pelicans, DJ. That's what's going on. It's a Hawk too.
Hey, can you do it in Dyson Daniels' voice?
Cracky.
Oh, man.
All right, y'all. Lex, hold on. Lex, you got any last commentary?
Oh, shoot, man.
Good.
Rest up on tomorrow, okay? Play with an edge on Monday and win. Beat the Kings because they are not lighting the beam. Let's go, Pels. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, y'all. We ready to go. All right, so I'm gonna holler at y'all on next one, man. We'll be back on a Monday night to recap the Pelicans matchup against the Kings, man. It's gonna be a victory.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform